guys, Will here with W.T.F car reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing the all-new 2024 Kia Forte GT2. And a big thanks to David at Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for making this review possible. I'll leave a link to their inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's for David. And for those of you guys who don't know, the Forte has been Kia's compact sedan since 2008. That's when the first generation was released. The GT that you see here was released in 2020, intended to be a high-performance version of the Forte, part of the third generation. Facelifted it again in 2022, and for 2024, the Forte starts with a base LX with a base price a tick under 20,000 bucks, all the way up to the top GT trim that you see here with a really friendly base price a tick under 25,000 at 24,490, an additional 1,900 bucks for the just about must-have GT2 package. What else do we get for that money? Let's jump right in. So the GT gets these specific full LED headlamps, LED daytime running light, and LED fog lights down below. I like the red contrast, especially with this white metallic paint color. It's not the sunniest day. Hopefully you can still pick up some of the sparkles. I like the black headlight housing too, black grille inserts, panel housing your advanced safety features with an updated Kia badge, which I kind of wish was blacked out, same with the GT logo, but really not a big deal. The wheel and tire setup is a lot more aggressive compared to most of the other trims, pretty similar to what you would get from a GT line. These gunmetal gray and silver contrasted 18-inch rims with a red outline Kia center cap wrapped in Come Home Majesty Solus all-season tires. It would be nice to get standard Sun Performance tires, but we'll see how these 225 wide 40 Series R18 all seasons do in this Florida climate with a little bit of rain on the ground. Anyway though, continuing along, we have a dual piston front brake caliper, subtle gloss black trim for the side skirt area, black mirror caps, LED turn signals on them, all black trim for the window trim with a blacked out B-pillar. We get blind spot monitoring on the glass standard, sunroof 2, smart access for the driver and a front passenger. We'll take a quick look at this window sticker, see everything we get available on this 2024 Forte GT with the snow white pearl metallic, black interior, standard features for a GT line. You guys can pause, take a look. But with the GT at 24,490 bucks, now we add the 1.6 liter turbo with 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque, 7-speed DCT, 18-inch rim, sport-tuned suspension, sport-tuned dual exhaust, which we'll check out in 1 second, LED headlamps, GT steering wheel paddle shifters, rear USB charge ports with vents, wireless phone charger, and a compact spare. $295 for the snow white pearl paint, $1,900 bucks for the just about must-have GT2 package, giving us the power sunroof and sunshade, LED overhead interior lighting, Harman & Kardon premium audio system, and it sounds fantastic. That feature just about pays for this option package just for itself. Plus, we get the Syntex seats that are heated and ventilated up front. Also, just about pays for itself, this $1,900 package. $175 for the floor mats, $1,125 for the destination charge totals us out a tick under 28,000 bucks. Still an absolute bargain considering the features and performance. 30 combined MPGs, 27 in the city, 35 on the highway. Continuing along, the gas cap, it's not pushed open, but I'll show you where the latch is inside. Same rear wheel and tire setup. The only difference is a smaller single piston brake caliper. Out rear, we get LED taillights, turn signals, and reverse lights. I don't believe they connect in the center, but the way that they set up the reflectors, it does appear that it may be the case. The reverse lights are in both of the corners. We get full rear parking sensing, specific exhaust tips here for the GT. Forte badge, GT badge right next to it, and shout out Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. Subtle black lip spoiler, black shark fin antenna, red outline exhaust tips, and a pretty aggressive diffuser. But speaking of the exhaust tips, let's fire up this 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine and hear how she sounds. Alright guys, that was the sound of the 1.6 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine sold by Kia for the 2024 Forte GT. And it sounds really good for a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, definitely one of the better sounding ones in the segment, cranking out a very healthy 201 horsepower, 195 pound-feet of torque, made it to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. You can expect 0 to 60 in the low to mid 6-second range, making it a pretty impressive performer, especially considering the price point and interior luxury features. We can shut this hood right down, walk around this 2024 Forte GT one more time, and taking a step inside. Again, we get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. Up top, we get soft touch materials. The soft touch continues for the middle portion with some faux stitching, gushy soft armrest, auto one touch for the driver, power windows for the passenger, aluminum door handle, and some nice faux carbon-ish piano black trim. You get a Harman Kardon speaker on the door panel and it sounds fantastic. A lot of storage too. You'll fit like two 14-inch subs in there with no problem, or a 24-ounce water bottle. Taking a step inside, we don't get any Forte or Kia nameplates, but the seats are labeled GT, red contrast stitching, perforated in the center, heated and ventilated with some solid bolstering for the sport buckets. We get two-way lumbar control. You can recline, drop, lift, and slide the front seats, gas cap release and trunk release. And taking a step inside, we can really check it out. So foot on the brake, engine start stop, and everything fires right to life. So compared to the previous model year, really not a whole lot has changed with this interior, but I'll still showcase it to you guys if you haven't seen my Forte GT2 video from 2023. The steering wheel is top-notch premium. It's thick, red contrast stitched, perforated leather for the 9 and 3 area. The 9 and 3 feels great in your hands, and we get a flat bottom. Labeled GT, aluminum frame, piano black for the top part of the frame. The horn area is rubberized, the horn itself. Pretty loud, not the most aggressive, but people should be definitely getting out of your way. Get an updated Kia Badge 2, volume and skip controls, voice commands, AM, FM, Sirius. You can hang up and answer your phone calls and favorites. These buttons adjust this infotainment cluster. Right now we're looking at our advanced safety features, attention level, drive info, sensory fueling, accumulated info, and a digital speedo, compass, tire pressure, gotta be driving to see, and right back to where we started. Underneath that is our active steering, radar cruise control, and we get our paddle shifters, which are aluminum, also top-notch premium, controlling the 7-speed DCT. We get auto headlamps, fog lights, and auto high beams. No auto rain sensing wipers. That'd be nice in the GT2, but really not expected with a sub $30,000 base price. Tilt and telescoping steering wheel, interior brightness. You could turn off the blind spot monitoring system and the traction control. Camaro style air vents, pretty high quality feel. Stitching for the dashboard. Hopefully you get a good look at the aluminum outline pedals. The stocks have a really satisfying click, and the steering has a really nice weight to it, at least in sport mode. Actually, we're just in regular mode right now, so we'll see how it changes up in sport. Continuing along, we mentioned the stitching for this dashboard. It's all soft touch, of course. The 10.25-inch touchscreen, the map is very responsive, not the most responsive, but more than responsive enough, with a great resolution display. Shortcuts underneath, map, nav, seek, track, radio, media, and setup. We'll take a quick look at the setup. It's a touch sensitive button. You guys can see everything that can be potentially adjusted over here. So not a whole lot. Home screen. Hopefully you guys can pick it all up. Cool. My personal favorite would be the map, so we'll leave it there. It's labeled Harman Kardon above map. The volume dial has a satisfying resistance to it. Same thing with the tune. The adjustments for the air controls, we have our hazards in the center. The materials here are hard plastic for the bottom, but soft touch up top. Engine start stop button, dual zone automatic front climate control, heated and ventilated front seats. All the adjustments for the defroster and air vent controls, wireless charging pad, 12-volt USB-A port, and an additional USB-A port right next to it with some storage right in front. Drive mode selector, we have sport, smart, normal mode. We'll start the review off in sport, transition to normal, and just see what the differences are. Electronic parking brake with auto hold. We have our parking camera that we can access at all times, but you can also throw this 7-speed DCT gear selector into reverse. We get guidance lines and trajectory, no 360, wouldn't be expected at this price point, but we do get rear parking sensors. That is appreciated. We get some different views too. We get an over-the-top view that's nice in the city if you want to maximize the space in front of the car behind you. Throwing right back into park, we get some leather and red contrast stitching here. 2 cup holders. You'll easily fit a 24-ounce water bottle. Nice spot for a wallet or a phone. We mentioned the auto hold and electronic parking brake. No stitching for the armrest. It's not the softest, but it is soft enough to not be uncomfortable. You'll probably fit 5 or 6, maybe actually 7 12-ounce cans in there, depending on how you place them. Nice amount of space for a compact sports sedan. Hard plastic outside of the glove box. It's not lined in felt, but it's large. You're fitting 25 license plates. You'll fit 2 pairs of shoes in there with no problem, with GT labeled on the subtle aluminum trim running through the center piece. We get our Kia Connect and emergency services on the rear view mirror. It's not auto dimming, unfortunately. You got to pull this flappy thing to dim it. Also a minor complaint, would be nice to get in the GT2, but again, very nitpicky. We get LED interior lights, sunglass holder, and a fairly premium feeling headliner too. We can open up the sunroof. The shade opens up with it. It doesn't close with it, but it does open with it. See if it goes any further, it does. Poke our way out of here. It's a pretty nice day today in Tampa, Florida. It's a little bit rainy, but the rain is past, and it's 76 degrees. Anyway though, we can shut this roof right up. We leave the shade open so when we hop out back, you guys can see how much light is brought into the cabin. But that's about it for the front seat of the 2024 Kia Forte GT. Let's hop out back, see how much space is offered back there, check out the cargo space, and then take this sports sedan out for a drive. So out back, up top, to be expected, we get hard plastic, same thing with the center, but we still get a nice padded armrest, power window, a little bit of storage. We're right next to the airport, so bear with me. There's gonna be some planes taking off, but I'll hop inside in 1 second. We have a decent storage compartment. You'll fit a big gulp in there or stack a foot long vertically, so make sure there's not a lot of sauce or it may spill. The rear seats, the padding does not go out to the door frame, but we get a little bit of bolstering, perforated leather, red contrast stitching, and what looks to be a decent amount of rear legroom for a compact. I'm a little bit over 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and I still have about 2-3 inches of knee room, headroom. I got about an inch because Kia gives you a subtle cutout for where your head will be hitting. So if you're under 6'3", 6'4", you should be able to sit behind your seat settings back here with no problem. Only the passenger seat gets a cargo net behind it. We do get air vents for the back seat. That's nice for the price point. USB-A port, center cubby, you gotta jab your hand into it. It is decently soft faux leather with cup holders that'll fit 12 to 16 ounce bottles with no problem, maybe more. Interior lights are LED, hopefully you can pick them up on camera, and a solid amount of light brought into the cabin thanks to the sunroof. Taking a step out of here, we'll hop out into the cargo space, see how much space is offered in the trunk, and then take this car out for a drive. So underneath the Kia badge, we have a subtle electrical chute that helps open up the trunk for us. It doesn't help close the trunk for us, but of course, wouldn't be expected at the price point. Speaking of the price point, look at the size of this opening. And speaking of opening, look at the size of the wheel well cutout areas for the seat fold down. You'll fit a 55-inch TV back here, fold the rear seats down. That is not something you can say about most compacts. And with these wheel well cutouts, you'll fit 2 golf bags right next to each other horizontally. Also not something you can say with most compacts. This cargo space is competitive with some of the mid-size segment from other manufacturers. Big thumbs up to Kia. You fold the rear seats down with these 2 latches. They fold down 60-40 split. Hopefully you get a good look at the subwoofer, helping the sound system sound incredible. Shutting this trunk right up though, we can walk around this 2024 Forte GT one more time. It is a nice looking sports sedan. If you're looking for a forced car, you just want something a little bit more performance oriented, you don't need like a Camaro SS doing 60 in under 4 seconds. You're more than happy getting in around 6.5. You just don't want something obnoxiously slow like a 2-liter Civic doing 60 in like the mid-9s. This is a great way to go without spending a whole lot more money. But speaking of performance, let's take this 2024 Kia Forte GT2 out for a drive and see what it's got. All right guys, now we're just about seeing everything we need to see with the inside and outside of the all-new 2024 Kia Forte GT2. Let's take it out for a drive and see what it's got. My first impressions though, like I said, the steering feels really good. We're starting off in sport and it does feel pretty on center and responsive with very solid amount of feel. Performance-wise, I have usually compared this vehicle to my, not previous, but 2 vehicles ago. I had the 2018 Acura ILX, which I loved. It had the 2.4-liter 4-cylinder engine sold by Honda, cranking out about 201 horsepower and I want to say 184 pound-feet of torque. So it makes about the same power as this with about the same acceleration numbers It's just here you get a lot more low-end punch compared to that motor. Like, you look down and you're going quick without even breaking 2,000 RPM. Road noise, you do hear a little bit. It's competitive though with the ILX that I had. The ILX was by no means a luxury car, and it also had by no means the same amount of features that this vehicle had, while having a slightly higher base price. On this concrete pavement, yeah, you do hear a little bit through the road, but the feel is still really good. Changes direction super quickly. We can try it out in the manual shift modes. Very responsive DCT. Little pull, whoop, yep, that boost kicks in and you're moving. Quick downshifts too. We'll try a turning radius, can't speak, and body roll test. Body roll is just about non-existent. Everything's flying over there. And the turning radius is super sharp. Second gear, about half throttle, boost, ooh, quick shifts. And it takes off pretty good. Let's try out an acceleration off the line. Brakes feel good too. Downshifts help the brakes. Start off in first gear. About third throttle, let's get a good launch. Ooh. Yeah, this thing can rip. I can see 0 to 60. If you get a good launch around 6 seconds, you get some super sticky tires on this thing. Maybe you can do 0 to 60 in under 6 seconds. You get a really good launch. Third gear pull, boost. Oh yeah, that feels stronger than the ILX. Up top, the ILX feels stronger than this, but down low, this feels way stronger than the ILX. Second gear, the tire's gonna be wet, but let's see how it handles in the wet. Understeer is super limited. Coming out. Ooh. Yeah. Guys, this thing is a rocket ship. And I was complaining about the all-season tires earlier, but with these all-seasons, you get a lot more grip in all-weather conditions. Right now, summer performance tires would probably be sliding around like crazy, and the tread life on all-season tires is also a little bit better compared to a summer performance. Downshift, hit this turn a lot faster than we should. Oh, it feels so sharp. Woo-hoo. And so do the brakes. We'll take a step out here, lean into it a little bit more. We'll start off in second gear to limit the wheel spin, and on the gas. Ooh. Yeah. And you hear a slight blow off when you let off, guys. This thing is quick. And it sounds good too. This is, again, one of the better sounding turbo 4s. Woohoo! Not bad. We'll throw it into the high gear, 7th gear. And on darker asphalt, road noise is just about non-existent. The wind noise is also really limited. I feel like the isolation from the road in this 2024 GT, Forte GT, is better than my old 2018 Acura ILX. And you're saving a pretty decent amount of money. We'll try out a real-world turning radius test as soon as we get the chance. Do one more acceleration run and I'll catch back with you. All right, guys, real world turning radius. We'll see how it is. It is sharp, starting off in first gear. On the gas. Woo! Gripped. And it is ripping. Woohoo! Yeah, guys, we don't have to beat it up a whole lot further. Throw it back into automatic mode. Throw it into normal mode. And the steering does get lighter, but it's still just as sharp and direct, changing direction super quickly. Throttle, a lot less sensitive, but you can still hear that boost build, and it still puts you at least a little bit in the seat with minimal throttle input. We'll try out this active steering, see if it works even with the lines not necessarily working. Oh, wow. Yeah, guys, Kia and Hyundai do some of the best jobs in the business when it comes to active steering. And overall, guys, this vehicle is so ridiculously loaded with features to still have a turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with over 200 horsepower and still have a base price well under $30,000. One more time through the turn. Normal mode, it still feels super planted with the sport suspension and very powerful with this turbo 1.6 liter. Overall, guys, if you're looking for a premium performance sedan But you're not like made out of money. You're not looking to spend more than $25,000 to $30,000. But you still want to be able to do 0 to 60 in the mid to low 6-second range. You don't want something that can't get out of its own way entering a highway. And you do want some nice features. You want a good sound system, a nice touchscreen, heated and ventilated seats. Who can ever go wrong with those? If that's what you're looking for, guys, this is without question the cheapest way you could possibly go. And even though it's the cheapest way you could possibly go considering what this vehicle offers, it is still a really fun vehicle to drive, and it is a very comfortable vehicle with quite a few very high value options and features for the price point. If that's what you're looking for, guys, I would 150% recommend checking out the 2024 Kia Forte GT, and I would recommend checking out the GT2 for an additional $1,900. You really can't go wrong. And a big thanks to David at Century Kia in Tampa, Florida for helping make this review possible. I'll leave a link to our inventory below, and if you're looking for a new car or SUV in the Tampa area, I would definitely recommend checking these guys out, and that's for David. And huge thanks to all of you guys for watching. I had a great time making this video. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. You guys know the channel is just not possible without you, and I really appreciate the constant support. But again, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Leave a like too. It really helps me out with the YouTube algorithm. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. Leave a comment. Let me know if there's any specific cars, SUVs, or trucks you want to see reviewed on this channel, and I'll definitely try getting those videos for you ASAP. But other than that, again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a great day.